everybody. We are live. We are going to chat today, legacy and my recent aha. So stay tuned with me for a minute because I'm going to share a journey a little bit about, this is just hilarious to me, how you can be immersed in the middle of something and still not see it with the whites of your eyes. And that's definitely an experience that I just had. Hey, Rima, how are you? Nice to see you. If you're joining me, please say hey. Let me know who you are in the chat, because if you're on StreamYard with me, then I don't know who you are unless you tell me. So just please say hey, because I would love to know you're here. So here's something really great. And this is so fun and contagious, and it's why I want to share it. So not long ago, I went and did a workshop in Chicago. And it was just amazing. It like literally now just seriously feels like it's been like 9 months. And I was just there. It was amazing. People said I was just thinking I need a fist of Jen's energy. You're welcome, Rima. I hope it supports you. So here's what we're going to talk about. So I went and I was having this really powerful conversation with a collaborator. So for those of you following last month's content, I talked a lot about collaboration and sisterhood. So this is just a continuation of how brilliant that is. So I'm done with the workshop, and my friend and I are sitting and we're digesting ideas, collaborative plans coming up, things like that. Super great. Like just the best kind of juice. If you know what I'm talking about, you're like an entrepreneur, business person, even in another area of your life, something that you're super passionate about, and like you just get so hella fired up. So that's how I left there. I was like, this is so good. Okay. So I have more things that I need to share with you guys about the cool process and how everything laid out. So I'm sitting there talking with my friend, and I've been digesting certain layers of the business and things that I want to build out, et cetera, right? Because that's like entrepreneurs, I think, is a nutshell. Like I want to say, like, I feel like we're always kind of redesigning and reconfiguring and thinking, and we're evolving, like just like human nature, like we're evolving even in our businesses and things like that. And so I was talking with her, and really what it did was it lent itself to pushing me to really be thinking about my legacy, right? So, which I think is funny because, what'd you say, Rima? Dose. Oh, dose, not fist. I was like, Rima wants a fist of my energy. Sorry, it's so good. That made my whole afternoon. So I am sitting there, and I come home, and my head's full of this. If you've ever been in creation mode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And my head's full of these beautiful, brilliant ideas. And I really had this powerful takeaway that while I teach women, like this is my expertise, is like purpose and legacy, right? That's really kind of, if you said to me like, Jen, what's in your soul? What's in your heart? What do you do? What do you teach women? I'd be like, oh, hands down, purpose and legacy. Okay. And so what's fascinating was I realized in my own legacy, I was limiting myself. This is so interesting. And I kept thinking legacy and what I want to do is for later. When I've gotten here, then I'll do this. When I've gotten here, then I'll do that. Does that make sense? Have you ever been here? And so for me, that was the kind of mindset I had. It was like, oh, when I get to this right time, this moment, this certain layer of experience or whatever, then I'll go back and I'll glean my legacy that way. No, like you're doing it today. Like in this very moment, please let me invite you to be creating from this moment moving forward. And this is going to sound so crazy, but even though I teach this and lean into it every single live long day, right? This is my whole passion. I was cutting my legacy spigot off by having this simple thought that it was for later. And the minute, and this is no joke, the minute I was like, I think I should lean into it now. Opportunity. Like it, wild. It's wild. It's the coolest thing ever. And so the reason I share this is that we inadvertently do this to ourselves. I didn't even I literally had to have this whole week process to be like, week and a half. I've been cutting off my own flow of great stuff coming in. And zero intention. This is literally my passion. It's what I teach other women. Don't even know. Apparently I'm somehow 20 still in my brain. So I was like, plenty of 10. I don't even know. Anyway, so I have this big aha. And then what the most magical part of this whole thing is literally how stuff starts showing up then. Friends, listen, if you're new, first of all, if you're new to me, this is what I coach women in doing, clearly. This is really almost more of a personal post today, if that makes sense. Like why I'm coming in to share this is a little bit more than like just a professional layer. It's like, lean in. You want to be living your legacy every day, put your foot on your bed. Now, listen, do I live fully in purpose? You bet. Do I have an absolute I have a deep knowing of what my purpose is. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. The legacy part is how we leave what we leave. Now, listen, so I'm going to talk for a minute about what I want to leave, because everyone's different, and we will morph. Our legacy will evolve, our businesses evolve. They're no different than we are, because as human beings, we're always evolving, right? And so what I really think is so funny to me is, it's always been on my heart, and I've said this over and over and over again, is my passion is really supporting and harnessing, helping women in this stage of their lives, right? I've talked a lot about midlife, in part because my breakthrough happened when I was 40. My awakening is what I call it, happened when I was 40. And I have seen a load of midlife women. So it's really easy to say, like, this is who I work with, and like put it, stake my claim in that space, right? Truth is, I don't really care what age you are as a woman. To be honest, coming into doing this work, everybody needs this work. It might look ever so slightly different, and that's only because in terms of your evolution, every single person's in a bit different space, right? Which is true for every midlife woman that shows up to work with me as well. It's no different. And so because it is my passion to really take this energy, this wisdom, this same idea of really empowering women and helping them like lift up, see their value, see their worth, see their power, lean into clearly identifying and knowing their purpose, and moving through the spaces that might be a struggle for all of us. Like, we're unraveling conditioning and all that kind of stuff. Like, so we do this all kind of like ground level foundational work, supporting you so that you can lift up into this beautiful and profound space, and that you can create a vision for the legacy that you want to leave, right? Totally. Okay. I think it is so hilarious and so human that even in my own workings, I literally cut something off because of the way that I thought about it. This is the power of energy. It is the power of thought. And to me, it's so interesting that in a week and a half time span, challenging myself to say, you can leave legacy now. What would prevent you from working with a little bit younger woman, because that she's coming up into this space? This is right. That woman needs the same help. And honestly, maybe even, right, the whole goal was to offer that help to those women sooner, that they're doing the growth and process I'm doing as a 40 and 50-year-old woman at 30 and younger yet, right? So it's just a way to think about it. So if you're signing in, please say, hey, let me know you're here. Thank you, Rima. I love you. Rima's hanging out with me on Instagram, on the gram. I haven't been on Instagram in like a long minute, like doing a live. So this is so trippy. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you. I don't have a big long, this is not like going to be like a 20-minute long mini workshop. That's not the vibe. I think what I really wanted to share was, one, I have like pure, ridiculous, ecstatic joy right now, like beyond what I can even explain to you, the way that things are flowing in. And what it tells me, and here's what's really powerful, what'd she say? You know I love you, girl. Oh, so much love to you, girl. I love you so much. What I want to say is that this is accessible to all of us, and that we can all make these mistakes. And what I really want you to do is hear me loud and clear, so again, if you're new, I talk a lot about energy. That is a part of the work that I do that is specific to me and the way that I coach. And what I'm teaching women all the time is your energy, right? You're a transmitter and you're a receiver, right? This is true of all of us, by the way. By the way, everything I teach also applicable to men. Just saying, I mean, if we're being completely brass tacks honest, I don't teach a single thing that I don't think pretty much across the board, minus women's history. Most of it's applicable, right? So even if you're a masculine energy and you're showing up in here with us, you're welcome. But I really want you to think about that. It took one small thought that legacy was for later to literally disrupt the spigot flow of manifesting other greatness. That's all that it took me. And I literally teach this. I teach purpose and legacy and energy, and how you utilize energy to really harness who you are, what you are, and how you want to come to the world. What was I effing doing? And it cracks me up. And it's why I felt so compelled to pop in here and say to you, you are absolutely created of energy. So what you think, your thoughts have energy. They literally help make or break your journey. No joke. You can not believe me till the cows come home. Totally fine. Bless you. Namaste. I'm just going to tell you, it is absolutely my experience that the more we lean in energetically to something as though it's happening now, it shows up. Okay. This legacy work that has been on my heart for years that I have not leaned fully into, because I was like, well, I've got to build this and I've got to do that. And as an entrepreneur and a business owner, CEO, I've got to lean here and do this and do all the things. Listen, oh my God, everything does not have to be ready. Everything does not have to be perfect. It does not have to look a certain way. It does not have to show up in a certain time frame. These are all our shit we make up. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better word. Sorry. This is the shit we make up. It has to look this way. It has to be in this timeline. It has to, what was I thinking? Like, I don't even know. And now all this perfect legacy opportunity is literally flowing in the door. Oh, and let me add this, another piece of this that has been very interesting this year. So my word this year was bold. My year of 2024 is bold. And it was a commitment I made to myself. And listen, if you're like, I don't like words for the year, okay, you don't have to do this. I do it more as an intention. It is the relationship I'm creating with this word, because I am such a language dork. It really resonates for me. It's it literally intentional reminder of what I'm standing for this year. Okay. Mine is bold. And I was like, this year is your year. The number of times that I've reached out to someone and been like, hey, I think we should collaborate. Hey, I think we should do this work together. Hey, I would love to come and do a workshop. Ding, 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 ding. I don't even know. All I'm going to say, most epic experience of all time. Legitimately. And I'm just saying that so that if someone's out there and you're doing this work, and listen, we go through moments of crickets as business owners. If whatever business you're in, whether it's that you're trying to be an influencer, or you're, like doing coaching online business, or you are whatever you're doing. Okay. Even as a corporate person or whatever your jam is, we can go through seasons where it kind of feels like we're kind of like, listen, we all go there. Like, I want to say that very clearly, that I don't think that I am suspended reality from everybody else. Like, this is just normal. But to have a spot to lean in and have all of these opportunities and the right people magnetically coming in, oh my God. Like, I can't, I am so effing excited. And I just really want you to hear me say that it is literally sometimes as minute as a belief that you may have been hanging on to that you might not even fully be aware of. And you were like, oh, I'm getting myself stuck. I inadvertently did not realize that when I was thinking, oh, legacy is for later. No, legacy is not for later. Legacy is this moment, this very moment that we're talking right now, and all the things that I do. And somewhere inside my heart, I knew that, but I do believe actually that my brain hijacked me, and it had this whole belief system about that's coming later. No, it's not. I mean, yes, it is, but no, it's not. Now is the time. Does that make sense? And so that's why it's like when I have an aha insightful moment as a business owner, as a CEO, as a lover of what I do, and I'm like, look at the spot I got stuck, and I teach this. And so you might be like, shit, well, I wouldn't have very much faith in you. That's fine. I mean, that's one way you can look at it, is that like, well, I'm super jacked up and I didn't figure this out. But I'm going to tell you that some of my best aha moments have happened exactly this way. And one of my commitments to being a coach has been like, show up completely transparent. I'm authentic. Like, it's like, this is my journey. Look, I teach legacy. I train women into purpose in all these places. And even I stumped myself by putting a limiting belief that you wouldn't think is limited. Like, right, legacy is for later. No, it's not. Legacy is everything you're doing in this very moment. And remembering that you get to create that spigot, and that the moment that you turn that on, this is a lot about manifesting. And so this is like spiritual, and it's CEO work, and it's all this, but like, I really want you to think about the minute I turn that spigot on, I'm inviting it in. And that's really what I think happened. I was at this dinner, we're having this powerful conversation. All of a sudden the ideas are rolling, the legacy ideas. And I come home, and now and I start talking about it. And then I start boldly reaching out to people and going, hey, you know what? I think I might be a good fit for you. Hey, I think I could offer this to you. Hey, and the reception, you guys, is like, oh, we can't wait. You're a magical unicorn. We can't wait to have you in. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? Oh my God. I had to give myself permission to be bold. I had to give myself permission to lean in. I had to give myself permission. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a no. It can't be a yes if you don't ask, right? I teach this all the time. So I just want to say this to you all because I think it is such a potent reminder that we are literally always creating for ourselves our reality, and that your belief system is really a huge deal. It's actually so much bigger than we give it credit. And I just want to encourage you, and listen, like, this is so important to me because this is literally the foundation. This is literally like it's my soapbox. It's my platform. It's my thing I live and breathe. I really want you to lean into your legacy. And I want you to know that the time is now. That if you have that idea that I'm working on something and someday I'll get to the place where blah, 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 all the stories we tell ourselves, someday I'll get to the place where, no, the time is now. The time is now. There is nothing wrong with this very moment that you bring in that energy and that you open up to receive the insight and wisdom to share that legacy in this moment. And I have always, I mean, I'm going to be real. So this younger population of women, and when I say younger, listen, I'm not talking 15 yet. Just wait though. Just wait. There's more. With time, do I want to be in colleges and high schools? You bet. You bet. That is, I mean, that's the long-term right trajectory of this, but maybe it's not. But maybe just saying this and someone says, hey, Jen, we want you to come in and talk. All right. I'll be there. Let me know when and how, and I'll show up. So these are the things that I think opening up that gate and receiving, and listen, like, I have a really natural ability to relate to younger people. I did it for 20 years in my practice. It is such a natural state of being for me, like legit. If you're 20, 30, like it's just as easy as breathing. I'm like, it really always has been for me. And so to me, it was like doing this and I'm like, what are you waiting for? I've already got 30-year-old women in my 30-something-year-old women in my wheelhouse. It isn't all 40s and 50 and 60-year-old women. It's really interesting because I think, I've talked so much about midlife. You can get lost, right, in the kerfuffle of everything. Like, oh, then that's the only group that Jen works with. Oh, no. Oh, no. But really more than that, to proclaim it to all of you, which is great. I mean, hear me out. Listen, like, obviously my work is not just for, 40, 50, and 60-year-old women. It is for a woman who wants to live in her purpose and legacy, which is a lot of people, right? But more than that, it's your energy has to align with mine, right? So this is not like a sales call. I'm just saying, like, these things, it's not that all of a sudden, I'm going to have an influx of all of that. But I do want to say, I think it's so important to be really clear for yourself. Where are you? Where do you stand in your power? And like, who resonates for you? Who's on your heart? These younger women, this younger generation has been on my heart for years. And one of the things you've heard me say, if you've listened to my stuff for a while, you've heard me say, my goal is to make it better and easier for the women following behind me. My daughter, my daughter's friends, all that whole, she's like 19, almost 20. These women, right, need it as much as adult, set, career-laden, super successful, high level something. Everybody in between needs the same stuff. Everybody in between needs the same stuff, okay? And I'm going to close with one really sweet story because it is so profound. And I don't remember if I said it on a video or live, and I don't think I have. But I'm going to share it anyway because this is the money. So stay tuned for this one story, and then I promise I'm signing off. So we did this workshop, and there was a lovely young woman helping to hold space for the process, the food and the snacks and the coats and so she was very, very helpful in the background of helping us host this workshop. It was brilliant. And the first section is closing. And my dear friend Tina was like, would you like to introduce yourself? So this young woman, beautiful young woman. She's like, this is my name. This is who I am. This is what I'm interested in. I have some background that's kind of tough, which I'm going to keep as confidential as possible because it's no one's business, because this was really a vulnerable moment for her. But here's what she said this is the mind blower. This is so truly, she was an angel to me. And if you think I'm joking, if you think I am being facetious or silly or playful right now, I'm 0% when I tell you, I think that human beings come in angelic form all the time. I think that they channel for us. I think they bring in brilliant messages. They invite all sorts of wisdom and insight for us. And what she says is, I want whatever you all are doing right now. And she was like, I have not had a lot of really good friendships. And she said, I have listened to all of you in this room talk about your challenges. All these brilliant women were willing to like vulnerably share about their struggles, the stresses, the growth, all this stuff. And she was like, it's the first time I didn't feel alone. Let's say it one more time. It's the first time I didn't feel alone. If that doesn't hit you in the feels, I swear to God, you're dead on the inside. I Swear to God, tears. I'm crying. Tina's crying. She's crying. I don't know if there's a dry eye in the house. A 20-year-old young woman is saying, I need what you all are doing. I need collaboration. I need networking. I need seriously, Rima's like, I'm in the desperate need of a circle of female friends, right? This is so what we're talking about. So it's interesting to me because Rima, I don't even know how old you are. Don't and no need to divulge, but I'm just saying, right? Rima and I are probably midlife women-ish. Okay. Hopefully it does not offend Rima. We're probably in that wheelhouse. I'm guessing you and I might be sort of close in age. I don't know. But case in point, Rima can say very openly and vulnerably, I really need a good circle of women. This 20-year-old woman was like, I need what you're all doing and that you all made me feel less alone because you were willing to share with me your pain, your struggles. And then her struggle didn't feel so bad because she wasn't effing alone. And that was where I was like, Jennifer. And at this event, all the younger women are like, Jen, blah, 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 blah. Jen, I'm going to connect. Jen, I'm like, oh, accident? I don't effing think so. So I could have had blinders on. No, I did about my thought. So give me some grace there. But right, I could have had the blinders on and been like, well, that's just a one-off. What a really cool experience that a young woman would want the same thing that we're having and what we're trying to inspire and what we're trying to grow here. Hello, heart on my sleeve. I can't think of a better or more complimentary thing than a young woman saying, I need what you guys are doing, whatever it is, I want to be a part of it. And no, listen, she wasn't looking directly at me. That wasn't, we had a really nice connection. We had another private conversation about some things. That's here or there, right? That's private. But what I'm going to say to you is that what I want you to hear loud and clear is this woman was saying and speaking directly into the heart of the legacy that I wanted to create. I needed someone to be like, hello, are you listening? Yes, I'm listening. I'm finally listening. Apparently, I've been granted these little nuggets along the way, and I was like, I got my jam. I'm doing my thing. I know what I'm doing. Oh, my God. And literally could have missed a whole layer of my purpose and legacy and being pushed to lean in. So that's really what I want to say to you. If you are anything like me and you had this experience, you were like, oh, legacy is what happens later. What? No, legacy is what we're doing now. Legacy is every action that you take to lean in this moment to leave your best self, your heart, your purpose, every single thing on the effing line. Okay. Now, what Rima said, so what, Jen, about networking? So what about collaboration? I almost wish I did 2 months on this content, but that's fine. Is that I would not have necessarily made the same connection had it not been for my collaboration and network. Had I not had a really brilliant woman sit across from me, talking strategy, talking different things, having this experience, I might have missed it. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I need network. I don't know if I need, good connection or circle, or yeah, you do. Because I don't know that I would be sitting here having this beautiful conversation with all of you beautiful people today had it not been for that experience. So I just want to give you something to think on, because I know this was I know this sounds it was just a gigantic aha. I had this idea, legacy was coming later. No, legacy is now. Legacy is putting one foot in front of the other, moving towards that space of influencing younger women as well and helping them to come up. They need to come up into the world where we're all standing. That's really potent for them. It's so potent. And to be modeling how we do this and to be modeling transparency and authenticity and the real of it. I'm not talking role modeling like I've got all my shit together. Okay. No. It's modeling being real. It's modeling coming from a place of power because you're being honest and vulnerable, and how magnetic that is. It really, there is nothing like it. If you have been in a powerful group of women all telling their truths, you walk away a changed human. I'm sorry. I'm for real when I say this. It's really an energy about community. And we kind of have lost sight of it. And so then sometimes we outgrow people, right? Rima's like, listen, I need a really good circle of people. We can have really nice people in our lives. I'm not dissing anybody. Right? You have really incredible people. And it doesn't mean you haven't outgrown them. It doesn't mean you don't need more. It doesn't mean you're not in a space where you kind of are yearning for the next layer, because you evolve. As you evolve, you are going to need something different. Your needs don't ever stay the same. They're just different. And as you shift and change, that's what we want to start paying attention to. Where am I being called? So Rima said, I can spend so much time trying to find the right networking experiences that will yield connection and clients. Real estate can be so isolating. I believe that 100%. I don't care. I just turned 53. Thank you, Rima. I love you. I love that she just tells me you're so sweet. Thank you for staying kind of hanging with me. Thank you for showing your age and for being so honest. I think that being CEOs, I think that being business people, high-level business people, whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, can feel very isolating. I think this is why it's so powerful to get really beautiful, powerful women together in a room. It's because for all of us, it looks like everybody's got their shit together, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it? Like, social media is so famous for this. It's like the worst part of it to me is just, it looks on the outside to look at someone's life. Like this weekend, this is a great example. Saturday, I shared a bunch of little posts on a story, right? The little pictures of what we do. I love doing that on the weekend. Just fun way to like connect with people and be like, hey, I don't just do business all over the long day, although I'm always thinking about it. That's not all I do. I have these personal pieces in my life as well, right? And I love this story. So I posted a picture of the Sanctuary Float Spa. Now listen, this is in Minnesota. If you're all about like float spas and like namaste, great. Okay. So I share this picture. So I go in, I hate it. I hate the whole experience. Now this is funny. And now listen, this is not to diss anybody. This is not about the actual place. This has nothing to do with that. It wigged me out. And I think I've got inner ear stuff. And it actually like totally threw my body for a loop. I was like nauseous. I'm like in this pool. I should be like, oh, I can meditate and sit with the best of the music, lights, like the whole thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Hated it. Hated every single living moment. I think I maybe lasted 20 minutes out of an hour of this service. And I was like, so one of my really good friends, we met for lunch. She's like, I can't wait to hear about your experience. And I was like, I literally hated it. So, right. But online, I post this picture and I'm not going to say in a flat Stanley image of me for a story like, oh my God, by the way, this was like dreadful and I felt nauseous. I'm sure I have an ear thing. My ears still like to have something in them. It wasn't for me. Is it for somebody else? Some of my best friends love them. Okay. But you're on social media and you see my day and you're like, oh my God, Jen's living the life. She's living her best life, going to the float spa, going to a tea service, no, listen, am I living my best life? You bet I am. But did you get the backstory of the float spa? No, not until this very minute. I hated it. I won't be doing it again. Bless you, namaste. Others think it's the best thing since sliced bread. This is why transparency is so important, because to our eyes, it can look like somebody's just got the best thing going ever. We don't know how isolated, lonely, struggling, vulnerable, scared, intimidated. We don't know how other people are feeling until they say it. So it's so important to be able to say, look, this isn't all perfect. It isn't all roses. It's effortful. It's time. It's energy. Sometimes it's places where it feels really like a struggle to get to where I want to be. That transformation's taking place. And sometimes it just doesn't feel easy. It doesn't feel juicy or good or simple, right? It's hard work. So I want to say this to anybody who needed to hear that message. I want you to live your legacy today. I don't want you to wait. I want you to find good community and collaboration and network, because I swear to you, the good people in your world that can come in will elevate you beyond what you can imagine. I promise you. I have literally found this over and over and over again in my adult life. And it took me a long time to get on board with that shit. I used to be like anti-networking, anti-collaboration. Like, it wasn't like I've got all the answers. It was just like complicated. I was like, oh, it's kind of now I'm like, nah, nope. I have thrown off the anchors. I am in so many spaces doing collaborations and working with people right now. It is literally the most fun section of time in my business. I'm not even joking. Literally lit a absolute fire in my soul that I needed to have. I didn't even know I needed it till I was doing it. And so this is where I want you to listen. Collaboration network is so important. Living your legacy every single day you got out of bed. Don't wait. That is absolutely made up. And so I just want to send that message to you, because I know I stumped myself and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It's so funny. I like completely missed the boat. And just changing one thought, one pattern, you guys, and everything is flowing in. And this is how we know we're in alignment. And that's really what I want you to hear as well, this last message. You're in alignment when things are flowing into you. When you've got an idea and stuff just starts lining up and the right people come in and the right conversations happen, you're like, oh, I'm onto this. Oh, hey, Kylie, how are you? Oh, she says good morning from Brisbane. She's in Australia, my Aussie friend. Hi, sweetheart. It's so good to see you. So I'm going to think about this. That alignment looks like ease. It looks like flow. It looks like the right opportunities, right? When that stuff is all coming in, you're like, I am nailing this. This is how I know I'm on the right track for my journey, for my purpose, and where I'm going. That is so huge. I cannot emphasize it enough. And it's why I train women in energy to start really seeing those things coming in, if that makes sense, because it can be very easy to be busy and miss the signs and symptoms. And you're like, oh my God, this is how it feels to stand in my purpose. It's so easy. The right things are coming into me. And that is so beautiful. Rima said, how do we find that? I don't have time to try and create a group, especially since so many of the women I already know are so introverted. They wouldn't join. Yeah. So what I would say, Rima, is that this is I will truly suggest, and stay tuned. Stay tuned. Here's what I would say to you. Stay tuned. Without saying much more, there are some really cool opportunities that are coming. I think that's huge. I do think that it is also finding people and following people that you believe in, that you really like and respect, that feel in a way that they're either really connected to you or they've got something really powerful that they teach or have as a part of their energy that you're like, I want more of that. Does that make sense? So I do think that it can start that way. And you can, if you know a couple, like even one or two brilliant women that you really like, you can be like, hey, would you be open for this? Or do you have good resources? I ask all the time. I literally ask women all the time, where are you networking? Where are you collaborating? What are you enjoying right now? I ask my favorite women, I'm like, where are you at? What are you doing? And I do see a need for change, Rima. I'm just going to say very clearly, and this will be a part of my legacy as well, is wanting exactly what you're talking about. I'm wanting that for women too. And I'm deciphering how I will collaborate and get that to happen. That might come with time. Or I do think there are some really neat things that are coming. So just stay attached. And so I would stay attached, wink, wink, because some really cool things are coming. But I do think it can start with as small a group as like, hey, there's one or two women. It's like, listen, girl, you already got me. You already got me. But this is how it starts. It's like I talk to a businesswoman and I go, hey, what are you up to? Who are you connecting with? Who do you really enjoy? Who's helping hold space? Is there a good network? What's the community like? Because what I can find, and I'm going to be this is total transparency. Somebody's going to be like, oh my God. Okay. I don't care. So for me, what I found is that people are either business, sometimes masculine energy, like all masculine. Like, listen, masculine energy is great. We're all made up of both. But I'll either get this hungry, okay, or you have to be making $2 million to join us, which is like not necessarily a lot of people, okay, right? Or they can also be so spiritual. And listen, I am deeply spiritual, deeply. Like if you get to know me, you start coaching with me, you'll be like, oh, bag of tricks, okay? But I'm just saying. But I also can find sometimes that people are so spiritual, it doesn't feel as grounded. This is where I have struggled. This is personal. This is total personal. This is not dissing anybody. And there's communities that I would join today if I had enough time and energy to dole it out, because there's incredible communities out there. So Rima, be in touch with me. I will try to remember to voice memo use some ideas too. But so I've had trouble finding the community that feels balanced. That's what I want you to hear me say. Strategy, intellect, success, discipline, all these brilliant things that I think are like we really need, combined with spirituality. Like it isn't one or the other, it's both. And finding a community that can bring people together in the center is really what I'm looking for. Because I'm like, I need both. I was going to make a joke. I'm not going to. So that's where I'm like, it's really important to, I think, vet and get out there and do a little bit of groundwork and start having conversations and some of those coffee chats with people to be like, what is your community about? Can I sit on the sidelines and watch? Can I come to? Do you have a way that you do a free week that people can come in? Or is there an opportunity to kind of be a witness for a little bit, right? So one of the other things that I think is tough is sometimes you'll find communities, and this is not a disrespect. I get why they do this. And they'll be like, you need to sign up for 6 months. Listen to my face. 6 months? What if I don't vibe it? What if it's not the right fit for me? And I've now spent money and I've committed and I'm now going to be in here for 6 months. And like, what if that's not really my thing? This is kind of that struggle of figuring out where you fit, because Even I am like reluctant to spend money and sign on for something and be like, I don't know if I'm going to love this. Okay. So finding money, and you will find communities that are like, you have to be making X amount of dollars. Everyone's different. I get it. We all have to lean into what feels best for us for our own journey. And I understand to a point, but also I am a firm believer about reaching behind and pulling somebody up. So I think that's why that's really like a tough one for me. I think having a fee or a due associated with doing some of these things makes complete sense. It helps the whole system run. Okay. Because people are doing that. That's like, it's a lot of work to host and hold space for this. So I get that. I do, like I said, sometimes every once in a while, my heart's a little bit like, ooh, if we make something that it's like, well, it's based on your income and only if you make this amount of, well, like, but how does this person who needs to rub elbows with somebody who's so successful, they need that insight wisdom, right? That's something we want to think about, right? So it's just but Rima asked a great question about how do I connect? And I do think a lot of it does come down to conversation. I think it comes down to listening for people that have a message that really resonates for you. I think that's so huge. I have found some really brilliant people that have messages that I'm like, oh, they're fire. And so now I'm following them. And I necessarily committed to a community? No, because I might be building kind of my own. And if I'm building my own, or not my own, let me say it differently. If I collaborate in a way that's helping build community, then that's amazing, right? But I am on the fence about where and when and how and all those pieces, and that's fine. So, but in the meantime, I'm following people. I'm listening to their message. I glean a lot just from following people that are hosting community and things like that. What are they teaching? What are they talking about? I love that. And so it is a little bit about testing the waters, and it's overwhelming because there are so many communities and groups out there. I mean, so many. Like, you can get lost in the weeds. Like, it's super easy to get lost in the shuffle. But Rima, those are some things I would say, and I'll send you a direct message too. See if I can't support a little bit on the sidelines while we're moving into this space for this. But I just want to share this all with you because I was so inspired and so excited. And to me, it was like when that comes forward, I get so excited to get in and share with you guys my insight, my wisdom, my takeaways, and what I'm learning as I'm going, so that you don't have to. Right? That's why I talk about it. I don't get embarrassed. Like, oh, like, I mean, it's kind of funny. I think it's actually hilarious that it took me to have this insight, but like, I would rather share that and give somebody else that leg up so that they don't have to go through the same thing that I did. That's huge to me. And so that's legacy, right? It's helping pull up the next person behind you. And I don't mean behind you that they're less than, or that it could be somebody that's making more money than me, but can I give them a hand and a step up into a space of evolution that they needed, whether that's community or coaching or whatever it is, they needed that, right? And so whether they're older than me, same age as me, younger than me, I don't care. None of that, honestly, none of that matters to me. Everything is about like your soul. It's like, what are you here to do? What do you want to do? What feels best and most aligned for you? And to me, those are the people that it's like, I care about spending my time with. And so sometimes the other thing I will say is if you're not super clear about what you stand for, you might flounder. Again, so if you're listening and you're a woman, you're like, oh, what I would say is go to your value set and look at your values. What do you value the most? Because that also informs you. You're not going to go out into the interwebs and toss the dice. Right? That's not the right way to approach this. It's obviously being a little bit more methodical. And it's like, who am I? What do I stand for? What am I seeking? If I want a community, is it friendship? Is it support? Is it insight? Is it personal growth? What am I looking to glean? And that is also going to inform you. So I hope that those little nuggets are a little bit helpful in kind of shifting you into like a direction of like, okay, what am I looking for? And so that I think is also really pivotal. So if I don't know, and I'm sort of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, you're going to get a potentially really mixed bag of results, right? The clearer that you are, the more the universe or source or whatever your belief system is will bring it into you. So being super clear. So I would say also looking at those pieces for yourself. So I want to say thank you so much, Rima. Thanks for hanging with me today. You are the best. I will be sending you a direct message quick just to kind of give you some ideas. But I just want to thank you for coming in and sharing space with me and listening to my story and how I had this aha. And so that I give you permission, please lean into legacy sooner. Don't be waiting for a certain time. There's not a timeline in the sand. And I've been building it my whole career. I'm not dumb. But what I will say is it really did take me to have this thought to kind of click into space to now have all these opportunities coming through. Not an accident. That is not an accident. However you want to paint it, you do you. I do not believe that's an accident. I believe the minute that I sent out this message that I was open and available and ready, it came in. That's money. And that's what I want to encourage all of you to think about. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you've got thoughts, questions, anything, please feel free to send me a direct message. Anytime. I love that. Comment in the comments, whatever you have that you want to offer. Do you know what your legacy is? What is it? Tell us what your legacy that you want to create is. I would love to hear that. I know other people love and are so grateful to hear. So share your legacy with me. But otherwise, if you've got more questions you want to connect, please reach out to me via DM. I love having conversations on the sidelines to support people and get them moving and kind of keep your process going. That even if I'm not your coach, I am here to help support you moving along that journey when and if I have a piece of information and wisdom to share. I will absolutely do that. So, but until next time, my friends, blessings, love, and light, supporting you in all things legacy and purpose. And I cannot wait to share space and continue to see where each of you lands for the fire that you're going to bring to the world. Because I just know each of you, the world needs more of who you are. The world needs more of who you are. And I can't wait to see what that is. So thanks so much, everybody. We will see you next time. Take care.